Hi guys, Chichi Art here, back with another digital painting. And in this video, I am painting a metal pot. And oh my gosh, let me start off by saying that this was one of the most frustrating uh, like painting session I've actually had in a long time. And forgive me for speaking so low, but I just don't want to wake my family up. I'm like literally recording this at like 1 a.m. But yeah, and I wanted to make this painting so that I can tackle the topic of metal and reflective objects. And I just want to say that at first I thought this was gonna be so easy. Like, that's actually why I picked it. The last painting I had, which was the painting of the garlic, I struggled with that one a bit, and I was like, oh, you know what, I kind of did well, so let me just give myself a break and pick something easy. And then I saw the metal pot, and I was like, oh, it looks like, you know, maybe 3 to 4 values, so like, yeah, so like, why not just pick it? And then yeah, I picked it up. And first, the problems that I ran into while like painting this was so much. Like, I think I almost had like a breakdown. I think I almost had a breakdown. It was a lot. So basically it started off with the sketching. So I am trying to improve my concept of constructive drawing. And to be honest, like, one of my first professional training was basically just reading and looking at Russian art. I think the YouTube channel is the Drawing Art Academy. Is kind of like a Russian, like, it's basically this is a Russian art channel, but they don't really maybe they speak Russian, but like they always dub it in English. So it's basically, you know, tackling, it's basically like using the Russian drawing method. And we all know that like Russians and Chinese, like, their art method is like their art is so good basically. So I wanted to, you know, draw like them, and they prioritize constructive drawing over like you know, things like expressing yourself. Like, not that they don't prioritize expressing yourself, but like they always prioritize students learning how to basically draw well. So students don't really even, like, you know, start expressing themselves until they have learned good drawing skills, such as constructive drawing and things like that. So yeah, so that's where I basically got my first professional art training. So that's kind of what I have been working on. And so the constructive drawing of this pot, it gave me so much problems, it gave me so much issues. I was, the first pass that I did, the proportions were so off, it was so lopsided. Like, I didn't even, I don't think I drew it with construction in mind. I was just trying to sketch something quick, but then I was like, oh, no, you know what, like, I want to get good at constructive drawing, so that's what I should prioritize. So I scratched that first drawing, I deleted it, and then I started to sketch the second drawing. And you guys would not believe what happened. Like, so I was basically drawing all this at 3 a.m. and the second drawing, it came out kind of okay. It wasn't exactly perfect, but like, it was something, it's something that I can work on. And basically when I'm painting, I can adjust some things, change some things. So I was kind of like, okay, yeah, it's fine. And then while continuing to sketch, I wanted to click Ctrl Z, and then I clicked Ctrl X, and the entire sketch layer was deleted. I spent 20 minutes on that sketch and just for everything to be deleted. And like immediately after that happened, my 3 a.m. motivation, the fire that you get at 3 a.m., it just died down. It just simply died down, and I I immediately went back to bed, but I didn't sleep. I was just lying down, just thinking about my life. I was like, what kind of like, what is this? Like, what kind of luck is this? But while like lying down, I was just kind of imagining. I was imagining how I would construct this pot, and I think I had my sketchbook beside my bed, so I just picked it up and I just started to draw like the basic shape, not the form, but like the basic shape of the pot. And I, at 4 a.m. or maybe 5 a.m., I don't really remember, but I then stood up and decided to, have another go. And yeah, so I was able to sketch a pretty much accurate, like not exactly accurate, but like it had kind of the same dimensions. And so yeah, I was able to sketch a good looking base for the painting, and I went back to bed. So this time I slept, and then this morning I just started with the painting, and that was when I realized that okay, yeah, this is not going to be like an easy painting. This is not going to be like painting like a tomato or an orange. This one, like I was the one that was kind of like, oh, it's gonna be easy because it's just like all the darks are like black and all the lights are like white. And but I realized that it's kind of not, because the hard part about painting metal is that the values are so subtle. Like they're so how do they pronounce it? Is it like, how do they I have an accent, bear with me. Is it subtle? But like the accents are like so subtle. And oh yeah, that's the pronunciation. The values are so subtle, and they have a lot of variation. They change a lot. Like you can have like 3 value like variation in like the same spot, and I was just like, oh my god, like this is this is gonna give me a headache. And it actually gave me a headache. After painted the blacks and the whites, it started to come together, but then I started to add in the other values, and it's just, I felt like it was falling apart. I was basically just like panic painting the whole time. I was like, oh my gosh. So and another thing is that there are some parts where the colors are kind of saturated, so like it's because it's reflecting like the environment. So like there's some parts where like, so it was basically so complicated. Like there are a lot of value variation, there are a lot of color variation because of how much it's reflecting, or sometimes how little it reflects. And yeah, I actually had a tough time painting this metal pot, but at the end it worked out fine. I just decided to, like, I think I took a break. I paused the recording and I just took a break. Just I think I went to my kitchen and just observed how like the metals were reflecting a lot of things. I just looked and I just observed, and I think that that's an advice that I would give to anybody who is painting or who is learning how to draw. Is sometimes when you can't figure out something, just observe. You can just go outside, you can like do it in your room, you can go to the park or anything. You can just look around, observe the colors, shapes, perspective, how it applies in real world, and also to draw from life. Because like while I paint from the photos in this digital painting series, I do draw from life, like, or better yet, I have started to draw from life, because it's something that I actually didn't used to do up until I think last year. So it's something that I am trying to do like more of, and is what I would advise people to do. So yeah, but yeah, painting the pot, I think I just lost my train of thought. For the pots, one other problem that I had was I think I picked a bad reference image. And while that you may be like, oh, like what do you mean by that? I mean, like, I feel like the reference image is not the best to learn how to like paint a subject like this, especially like look at the shadow. Like I don't know, maybe I just don't have experience painting metals, and this is actually how the shadows look like. But the shadows were so like so subtle too. It was so subtle, and I was kind of like, oh, like do I make it dark? Because the values of the pot were darker than the shadow, and maybe that is how it is actually supposed to look like. So I'm just, like I'm just going off by what I know painting other things. And one thing that you would also notice um about my paintings, like just or about my speed paintings, like just to clear the air, is that I don't zoom in. And just to say it, this doesn't actually, and I okay, so basically I know that it is an advice that a lot of people give artists, that don't zoom in too much, just because if you zoom in too much, you can get caught up in details that can like make your paintings fall apart. And that is actually not the reason why I don't zoom in. Like I basically don't zoom in because that is how I draw traditionally. I am normally a traditional artist, not a digital artist. Like that's why I started this series, to basically learn digital painting. You'll also see it from the few layers I used. Like I mostly just have like a layer for like sketch, um secondary sketch, sometimes ink, and then the final painting. I don't even have like a layer for like shadows and light and things like that. And it is something that I will learn later. For now, I just want to focus on like just the feel of digital painting and drawing digitally. But all those other things like layers, getting used to zooming in and things like that is gonna come later. But yeah, I'll leave you guys to it. Like that's all just what I wanted to ramble about. Like this session, it was painful. It was painful, but at the end of the day, I think I got to where I wanted it to get, and I was pretty much happy with how it turned out. And I am, proud of myself for how far I have come. I look at my old drawings, I look at my old paintings, and I'm like, oh wow, I wouldn't believe, like if somebody told me 5 years ago that I would, paint something like this, or I would be able to make like a like a good and accurate depiction of an object, like I actually wouldn't have believed it. So I am proud of where I am, and thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. I also hope that maybe even if you were able to get one thing or two out of the speed paints, I hope you do, because I do watch other people's speed paints to learn some techniques and to observe some things. So I hope that maybe I can be of help, whether it's direct or indirect. And I'll leave you guys to it. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good day. bye.